extraordinary, and her win rate is 85%. There's only very few players on the circuit with that sort of win rate. So Chen Xington, her opponent, has got a real challenge ahead. Chen Meng in absolute form right now as well. Played a fantastic quarterfinal match against Feng Tianwei, winning 3-1. It was tight, it was close. And here's Chen Xington in red. World ranked at 13, aged 23. Got 4 tournament wins under her belt. You see the win rate is 71%, so there is a difference here in terms of consistent performance. Chen Meng, the world's best right now. Chen Xington yesterday, Johnny, played really well. She was 2-0 down against Ding Ning, considered one of the best female players of all time.
The Queen of Hearts.
And got through, and we've got the head-to-head right here. And you can see the years pro difference. Chen Meng has 10 years pro. Only 4 years difference, but it can mean quite a difference in terms of on the circuit, how much experience you've got. And their head-to-head is interesting. Chen Meng's 1-3, Chen Xington's 1-2. So it does show that Chen Xington can win this. And that's why we're going to have a very close match on our hands here. Both players very similar styles. And the umpire here.
Absolutely looking smart. The umpires in their WTT attire. Everything, the attention to detail on this WTT Macau event. Superb.
Absolutely. The umpires here have been fantastic. They've been switched on, no mistakes. I think Chen Xington here wants to change the ball.
Time.
But yeah, in their last encounter between Chen Meng and Chen Xington, Chen Meng won 4-0. Straight sets.
I have a feeling it may well be closer here.
I couldn't agree anymore. It's best of 7 here. Of course, throughout the week, it's been best of 5. In the semi-finals, it's best of 7. And the final tomorrow, best of 9.
And the formats have been excellent, Dan. They've been different, particularly then when we saw the top 4 seed battles come in. We've seen the top 4 seeds from day one. So the fans around the world, limited fans in the venue, we've seen the top players right from the off.
Absolutely, and I'm loving the game decider. It's making the games very quick at the end and intense every single, and it's really making the players give their absolute all early on.
It is, and it's always interesting to see how they react in the game deciders in the scenario. So I see that Chen Xington, well, she lost one of them against Ding Ning in her semi-final. And as for Chen Meng, well, she had won, actually 2 against Feng Tianwei, 1-1 and lost 1 there, 10-11, 11-10.
Yeah, it was they're both very close quarterfinals, and I think this game's gonna be very evenly matched. Just have that feeling, even though Chen Meng does have the upper hand.
And it's Chen Meng who gets us underway with the serve.
Love 1.
Of course, the whole ethos of WTT to innovate, to invent table tennis into the new area, re-energize, reimagine.
1-0.
And positive feedback from players there in the venue and around this event. And also with the fans, good discussion on all the social platforms. Great to have the fans' views. The goal is to give the fans an incredible experience of a sport that we love.
Solid play there from Chen Xington. Solid backhand to backhand, and straight away, as we said before this match started, we're going to see that backhand to backhand exchange being used very often, and that time Chen Xington coming out on top.
Bit wild on the forehand flick there from Chen Meng. Other elements, of course, the new field of play, the 8-sided field of play, the new graphics, new cameras and production angles to give us an insight and a different feeling and a view to bring us, the fans, really close to the action.
2-3.
Everything to add to our experience as we watch the world stars, the graphics.
Continue playing, please.
And this concept as well that we've talked about, Dan, the fact that the players are at different sides of the field of play for the breaks. So it's almost playing into that battle concept. They go out, they come back into the table, the battle zone, if you like.
For sure, we may see that. We may see that now when players towel down every 6 points. We're not going to get that here at the minute, but we'll see when players go to the towel down. We'll see that view.
And of course, the other thing we won't see with the two players from China playing against each other, no coaches,
yeah.
but we have been really interested in the interaction at every 6 points, not just in the timeout and in between the games. Oh, here we go. Oh, nice little switch there from Chen Meng. Chen Xington just couldn't make it.
Yeah, a very good play there from Chen Meng. She's in on the rally. Chen Xington away from the table and found the angle. And these two players, whoever's going to be staying at the table with the dominance, is most likely going to win the rally.
Oh, Chen Xington, how did she get that back and then recover back into her backhand position?
It was so close to being double bounce, that ball. Just got her back to it. So Chen Meng here in blue, the world #1. And there's Chen Xington. The side camera angle.
Let 4-all.
Another new camera angle here under the WTT umbrella gives us a real view on the table. Look at the angles and the speed, Dan. This is exactly what we want.
5-4.
Exactly that. And Chen Meng there got the switch in first again. And this is a real tactical match, this. Both players trying to find the tactics early on. Chen Meng exploiting Chen Xington's wide forehand.
WTT really wanting to push the limits, to invent new elements for the sport, for the entertainment, for the product, in a world where we all as fans, we want to see the best, we want to see the technology, we want to get a real insight into our stars and the sport, we want to feel close to the action, all of those things that WTT is committed to in this new vision for table tennis. Oh, this is unbelievable stuff once again. The backhand-to-backhand rallies all week. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what's amazing? These players practice with one another all the time, so they're so used to each other's games as well. So they're almost just, if they're struggling to get the ball past each other, they're so consistent. So many backhand-to-backhand exchanges. But Chen Xington winning that big rally there could be important.
Oh, great ball right down to the body. Takes a 2-point advantage at 7-5. So 12 points played, factor of 6, meaning that it's a towel break. Again, as we were saying earlier, the towel holders now at the ends of the field of play historically were in the middle. I think this gives a much better feeling of the battle, as we were saying. They go to the ends of the table. Now look at them, they're coming back in to the battle zone. Just a quick glance there at the orange line around the table, Dan, and for these semi-finals, the orange ball.
Aha.
The ball was moving so quick you didn't see that.
Yeah. Well, exactly. This was the same ball used in the seeded battles earlier on in the event, and then obviously the white balls were used in the quarters. So now we're back to the orange balls. And they do look nice with the branding of the event, I've got to say. It links up very well.
That's a fantastic backhand from Chen Meng. So good, the timing and the technique and the decision-making, because you got a split fraction of a second to make those decisions in table tennis.
Yeah, Chen Meng stayed calm. She's got a lot of experience. She's not under pressure when Chen Xington's opening the attack first, staying calm, feeling the ball, and finding, again, that wide angle, that wide forehand of Chen Xington. Chen Xington's serving really well at the minute. She's been doing some long, fast serves, catching Chen Meng out. And there we had the jab, backspin serve, heavy to the middle. The serve-receive between these two is the most important aspect right now of the match. Who's going to be able to attack first?
Absolutely. 8-7, Dan. Opening game, as tight as you would have imagined it to be, with these two superstars of the game.
Chen Meng when she receives a serve. So square to the table. Really interesting. Very backhand orientated, ready for the backhand flick. You just, oh, that's great fun. Wow.
But interesting receive on the forehand there, Dan, from Chen Meng. It was almost the turn of the hips and the waist, if we can see that. Look,
yeah.
The legs don't necessarily go off the square positioning, but it's all in the body and the turn, the core, to be able to just play that up, because that was right down the middle.
It was, you know, and that serve did catch her out earlier on in this game, but that time she read it. And again, found the wide forehand of Chen Xington.
Let 8-all.
8-all, 2 serves from Chen Meng. We've seen a lot of players mix it up at these stages, going for the long service. I wonder, will it be in Chen Meng's repertoire on this sequence of 2?
8-9.
Interesting receive. Chen Xington's come right in over the table, taking that ball really early. Chen Meng slow to react. We don't normally see Chen Meng so slow in a reaction like that.
Yeah, caught off guard. I think she was expecting the short ball, and yeah, so far Chen Xington. Yeah, that's brilliant. See, in the earlier point, Chen Meng played that first backhand wide to the forehand. That time went straight into the body of Chen Xington. It's this variation that these players do all the time. They're not predictable with their game. 9-9, the towel break.
But that predictability is interesting, Dan. You know, 2 players that will train with each other as part of the national team. They may well have played, as we saw, 5 times already on international level. Yet you're trying to be unpredictable at the same time.
Yeah.
They know each
which
other's
can't be
game.
easy, yeah.
No, exactly. 9-9. Will we have a mix-up of the serves? Let's see. Chen Meng looks a little bit heavy in the legs. I mean, what a month of November she's had through the Women's World Cup victorious, ITTF Finals victorious. What would she give to also take the WTT MACAO event? But a little bit slow, maybe heavy in the legs on that one.
So a game point, Chen Xington. Wow! Chen Meng using her body into that backhand, relentless play.
You know what that means?
Oh, we've got the game decider. This point for the game. 1 point only.
Chen Meng, advantage of the serve, perhaps, although we did discuss that now we see the service advantage perhaps diminishing in the game, now that players are flicking and playing the banana over the table. Let's see here, 10-10, game decider. Oh, whoa, she went for the flick, Chen Xington, but that certainly didn't come off.
It sure didn't. After hearing your commentary there, Johnny, I was expecting a real backhand flick going past there. Top edged it. But yeah, that kicked, yeah, and that was clever serve from Chen Meng. Half long, and it's quite hard to backhand flick a half long serve. You get indecisive, and Chen Meng wins the opening game, and she'll be happy with that.
Of course, winning the first game is a nice focus, and it gives you momentum and it gives you confidence. But we've seen so many times, as we get a great glance of the table being looked after, which is becoming more important with the pandemic and everything, and we saw a glance of the trophies. Maybe we'll see those later on as well. But yeah, but we've seen a lot of comebacks, even if players are 1 or 2-0 up over this week on the best of 5s. It hasn't meant that it's been all over.
Well, take for example yesterday, Chen Xington was 2-0 down against Ding Ning. The player now in the semi-final came back 1-3-2. Fantastic performance, and she has got experience. She's very calm under pressure. She knows she can make the comebacks, and at the minute it's only 1-0 to Chen Meng.
Chen Meng, great pedigree, great CV. You talked about the multiple wins earlier, Dan, and there's a confirmation of the format, and that's $17,500 US for the purse for these players. In fact, Dan, interestingly, through the rounds, as we know there's US dollars for all the rounds, Chen Xington is joint top at the moment on prize money, won 32,500 US dollars. So if my mathematics is correct, if she was to win this, she would go to 50,000 and go in to play the final, which would be a contest for 25,000 US dollars.
Not bad at all.
Chen Meng, well, she's currently on 30,000 US dollars. And of course, the difference being that both these players have made it to the semi-final through a different pathway.
Of course, when we had the seeded battles, that was really fun. With the seeded players choosing who they wanted to play in the quarterfinal. Something very unique here at World Table Tennis with the new innovations and this test event to explore what works, what doesn't work. We saw a nice interview earlier today on Instagram with Rob, one of the producers here, experimenting with different innovations and talking about how, yeah, we're learning, we're trying to see what's working, what doesn't. And you know, for me, this event is so different to any other table tennis event. And some things, yeah, players are going to like, and some things maybe they don't like, but that's what this is all about. And, you know, right now, I'm loving it.
Great comments also on social. Check out social, folks. Lots of things being posted, not only from the events and from the players, but some of those details, as you say, Dan, behind the scenes. Worth checking that out, folks, and get your comments on there. I know the team are passionate and open for all comments and feedback. So please, you know, we all love our table tennis. We want table tennis to be on the top of the world. Let's catch those other sports that perhaps we feel we could be amongst. And that's about sharing feedback and innovating all the time, inventing the future of this fantastic sport.
And right now, the world number one in a 3-0 advantage. Applying the pressure on Chen Xington. Chen Meng knows she can't let anything loose.
Oh, just forcing it a little bit on the backhand. But yeah, just interesting how they've both come through, as you said, in the different draws in the top 4 seed battles, Dan. You know, Chen Xington was seeded 8, so she joined the action at battle 2. We had, of course, battle 1, which were the players seeded 9 to 16. And then at battle 2, the 5 to 8 seeds came into play. And that's where she defeated Do Hoi Kem of Hong Kong. Whereas Chen Meng, as you say, she was part of the top 4 seed battles. Those were best of 5 and up to 5 points. Those were fast and furious, and our opportunity to see the players, top seeded 4 players from day one, which is fantastic for us, for the fans. Historically, you wouldn't have seen the top seeds until the latter stages of the events.
You sure wouldn't have. And right now, Chen Meng just looks a bit more comfortable in these exchanges. Almost like an extra gear at times when she's playing the stronger backhand, and very good feeling.
Oh, so smooth on that. Interesting that it was more of the top spin rather than the punch style here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's
great
fantastic.
set piece. Chen Meng digged long on purpose. She knew she was going to get a weak return and was just ready for the backhand counter.
Known for having no fear and no limits, Chen Meng. That was an indication of that. Oh, and again, the different technique there, Dan. So the one previous was more of a topspin. That was more of a reaction block, punch down the line.
Fantastic. A bat angle's open, good racket surface to the ball. And that's the thing here, open bat angle, so she's got time. There's no top edges. Clean winner down the line, finding the angle. Are we going to get the first 11-0 of this event? It's quite rare at the top stages.
It is, and there's always the view of not always going for the 11-0, you know. There's the respect point.
Yeah, some players are ruthless. Right now,
the no mercy.
Yeah. Or no, I think Chen Meng will give the point if it's 10-0. I think they're buddies, they're teammates, aren't they? But we'll see.
She's been strong in this second game. Wow.
Right now, she's just on point.
On point. 9 points. Different serve from Chen Xington. I guess that's what I was getting at the end of the first game. Were we going to see something different? That was a great serve from Chen Xington. Came really wide out the Chen Meng backhand.
This is why the backhand's become so important in table tennis. As soon as Chen Meng went for the pivot, her forehand was exploited.
And Xington certainly executed that very well down the line for the winner. She's going for the switch again.
10-1.
Didn't convert this time and gives Chen Meng, the world #1, 9 game points. I mean, we've seen comebacks, Dan, but surely not. No, first time. Straightforward, strong performance from Chen Meng.
Yeah, not on this occasion. Chen Meng now leads 2-0 in fine fashion. 11-1. Just goes to show when Chen Meng, the world #1, is on fire and everything's flowing, very hard to beat. Chen Xington, yeah, Chen Xington didn't do a lot wrong. She was playing the rally, she was in the open rally, but Chen Meng just had that extra gear.
Chen Meng in this month has been unbeatable. Well, she's, well, actually interesting. So, won the Women's World Cup, won the ITTF finals, but a really interesting dynamic with those new formats here in WTT, the semi-finals, and there we go, 7 games, as we've said, best of 7 here, 11 points. If it goes to the 7th decider, it'll be 2 clear points. Otherwise, we play game decider at 10-10, and that check of $17,500 up for grabs. But the new format means that, you know, for example, we've seen Chen Meng, she came in seeded 1 in terms of the players listed before we got underway, but through that top 4 seed battle process that you were talking about, Dan, she actually lost to Wang Manyu 3-1, which meant her final seeding place going into the quarterfinals was #2. So interesting that it's one of her very few defeats that we've seen Chen Meng recently.
Yeah, very good point.
The only one.
Yeah, that is, and maybe that's going to give her even more motivation when she's playing
sometimes
now.
you just need a wee reminder, right? Do you get things too easy if you're a player or a team in a various sport? Maybe you just need a little bit of a wake-up. And with this format, it means that she wasn't knocked out. We still get to see the world #1 and see how they come back after a defeat within a tournament.
Yeah. Must be a great feeling being the world #1, thinking there's no one on the whole planet. I'm ranked above them. Fantastic feeling. But as you can see here at this event, Chen Meng has still got to give 110%, and that she can't be complacent at all because everyone around her wants that #1 position.
I mean, she's done it for so many years, Dan. World Junior Champion in 2011. So almost 10 years of top level. She's had #1 against her name for many, many years. Of course, Lu Xiwen, current world champion, not here due to injury. But still a stellar lineup in both the men's and the women's. 16 players in both events. $400,000 up for grabs in both events. Equal prize money. Oh! The strategy involved, just, you know, it's almost like the backhand to backhand at speed is only just the holding pattern, you know, like a plane ready to land.
Yeah, this is interesting. Chen Meng played down the line with her forehand there, really keeping Chen Xington guessing, but Chen Xington still managed to read the play. With Chen Meng, she's switching the backhand down the line, but always playing with her forehand down the line, not playing cross-court. There, again, we just saw it. Chen Meng wins the point by switching with the backhand down the line, but very clever tactics by playing the forehand fade down the line into her backhand. It's really keeping Chen Xington guessing. And that's why she won the previous game so comfortably, but here Chen Xington does lead 2-1. She's keeping in the play, keeping in the point. That's a lovely touch. Chen Xington on the stretch there, managed to feel the ball. Good soft hands. And that's something you've got to practice a lot in table tennis, even the short game. And not many players in table tennis work that much on the short game that I've seen. They all do forehand and backhands. But just spending 10 minutes on touch-to-touch around the net will make the big difference when you're under pressure in a match.
2-3.
Absolutely,
Chen
Dan.
Meng. She spotted something.
Maybe a light or a flash or something. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, isn't that the fascinating, one of the many fascinating elements in table tennis? Yes, it's about power and spin and unbelievable athleticism and dynamism around the court, but also touch and feeling.
Sure is.
So umpire just speaking with the referee, just to check. Chen Meng not happy with something. Sometimes can be a flash in the crowd. Maybe one of the show lights has come on. Semi-final Saturday.
Semi-final,
feedback.
Super Saturday.
Yeah, good feedback from the players so far on the new setup and the look and feel and the futuristic setup here under the WTT platform.
It's very futuristic, it's very social, it's very modern. It's 2020. 2020 vision.
4-2.
And you know, the sport market is a busy marketplace, Dan. Table tennis, we all love it. But of course, it has to try to stand out. We all know that it's an amazing sport, that the athletes are amazing. We know we'd love to see it at the very top around the world.
5-2.
Another objective of WTT for even broader, wider media coverage to bring it to even more fans of the game. We know so many people play the sport on holiday, in school, at home, in the garage. Oh, what an exchange. Forehand's coming into play here, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Chen Meng now is really agile on her feet. It's like the shoes have woken up or something.
Yeah. Well, even though she's 2-0 up and won the previous game comfortably, you still have to give 100%, and she is so focused and committed right now.
And maybe that first game where her feet looked a little bit heavy. Clearly, she's maybe found the zone now.
Sometimes
Find her rhythm.
Sometimes it takes a little while for the adrenaline to activate and, you know, really get pumped up psychologically. And these pros know that when it takes some time, sometimes you've got to kickstart.
Oh, nice forehand down the
Every
line.
time Chen Meng's playing that forehand down the line. And it's really putting Xington
yeah, it's
under
causing
pressure.
trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, look at this. Straight down the line. Because every time Chen Meng with the backhand, she's switching that down the line to her forehand. So it's so difficult to read where it's going. And I'm sure, we've got a timeout here, I'm sure as soon as Chen Xington starts reading that, Chen Meng will change it.
And that's that ability to think in the moment also, right?
Especially with no coaches in your corner.
Well, that's a skill. I think that's a learn. I think for all of us coming through the system, whether we're school champion, district champion, club champion, or working to be those champions, national champion, moving on to the international stage, maybe national representation, you have to learn to be able to make those decisions yourself. You know, we should build, we hear it in the educational circles, don't we? Build resilience. The world is about change. It's been a difficult year. Kids, we want to teach our future generations to be resilient, to change, to not be afraid of changing, and to learn. You know, many people say you either win or you're learning. There's this, you know, losing it's a process. And so being able to change those tactics in the key moment is another learn. Don't rely on the coaches. Coaches are there to support, to help, to instruct, to develop. But ultimately, it's the player in the middle of the battlefield.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it is interesting because when the Chinese do play against one another, they don't have coaches. So they are getting practice as well, the Chinese players, without a coach in the corner. Any other national team usually has a coach in the corner. Here we go then. Chen Meng, the world #1 to serve. That's class. Very good serve there. Looked backspin. At the last minute, Chen Meng just come up on the top of the ball to produce topspin. So the ball popped up. As soon as Chen Meng saw Chen Xingtong's going to push, she knows she can start getting around to play that forehand as the ball will pop up.
That is
5-6.
class again, Dan.
Yeah, and that time Chen Meng played the forehand cross-court. And as you see here, Chen Xingtong nowhere near it. She was expecting it to come to the backhand. Even her racket was prepared for the backhand. So now Chen Meng's mixing it up. Very clever tactics on a very high level here. On a world-class level. Nice there from Chen Xingtong. Got good contact on the rubber, lots of spin. Forced the error. If you're out of position, often you've just got to try and go for loads of spin. Something Timo Boll does very well. Timo Boll's out of position. The spin and rotation he gets on the ball always allows him to recover back, and that's what Chen Xington did well there.
Ding Ning also very good at that.
Classic.
But Chen Xington
6
took out
all.
the Queen of Hearts. What a match that was. 3-2, 14-12 in the 5th decider. 6 all, 2-0, Chen Meng.
7-6.
It just goes to show you, you know, in sport and in table tennis, the different levels as you go through your career in the world rankings. I didn't make it so high in the world myself to play in such prestigious events. But you know, if you consider that Chen Xington's currently ranked at 13, Chen Meng at 1, today there almost seems to be a little bit of a gulf.
Yeah. You didn't do too bad yourself, Johnny, did you? World Championships? A few big events?
It was a pleasure to play on the international stage and pull on your national jersey. But watching the top here in Macau is just fantastic.
7-8.
And in the WTT era now that we're starting, this of course the showcase test event of WTT. We didn't think this would be up and running in 2020. Incredible effort from everybody to get it up and running, and an opportunity to test. It's a proof of concept as the full launch goes into 2021.
9-7.
I like the idea what Chen Xington did there. Heavy, fast dig, caught Chen Meng out, but Chen read it well. It's that variation in the short game. We're going to see a lot more variation now, I think. Players will sometimes dig long a bit more often, mix it up.
Chen Meng with the
7.
table tennis, perhaps lucky necklace there.
You heard the lightning sound effect. It means we've got a game point.
Certainly working today. She's looking strong here, Dan.
Yeah.
It's the same routine. That
11-7.
forehand cross court is powerful.
Into
Look how short and compact the technique is. Something for us to note. You know, the speed of the game now and the power, and we talked about the core. Watch how fast she is on the forehand here. And the body, look at the step through.
Yeah, taking the ball so early.
Great camera slow-mo there. See how she goes right through the ball. But actually the racket's not making a huge arc. The pathway of it tracing through the ball, it's not huge, it's compact.
Yeah, as you say, Johnny, a lot of it's from the legs and the body. 70–80% of it, legs, body, hips, shoulders, rotation, and then the arms coming through at the last point of impact. Almost like a whipping action.
What has Chen Xington got to do now, Dan? I mean, she has had
tough.
some great matches. She has made comebacks before on this best of 7.
15
Can she
seconds
come
remaining.
and win here now through on 4 in a row?
Well, the big question here for Chen Xington is the last time they played, Chen Meng won 4-0. So right now, Chen Meng has won the last 7 games in their encounter. So Chen Xington really needs to try and change something drastically.
Continue playing, please.
So Dan, with the new experimental, engaging, exciting formats, we're about to see the first time a player needs to win 4 games. In the previous rounds, best of 5, Chen Meng would already be going to the media center
Xington to serve.
at 3-0. But best of 7 in these semi-finals. Who is going through to the first ever women's singles final in a WTT event? It looks like one-way traffic at the moment. Can that player there about to serve us here, Chen Xington, change the course of the semi-final?
Yeah, maybe
One love.
Chen Xington needs to take a few more risks. In the big rallies, the big exchanges, it's been Chen Meng a lot mixing it up, playing the down-the-line shots, finding the body. Chen Xington needs to just go for it a bit more. But, you know, Chen Meng is so solid, and she knows Chen Xington's going to try something different. And Chen Meng's very calm, very focused. Her focus is extraordinary, actually. I've never seen her really lose that sort of concentration. She's always on point, focused, ready. Look at that forehand. Okay, she got an awkward loose ball, but, you know, in the earlier two games, Chen Meng played all her forehands down into the backhand. And now she's just finding that forehand every time, mixing it up.
And when you mentioned down there the sort of calmness, but it's almost like that winning vibe, the knowledge and experience of winning. You know, like the Serena Williams in tennis, or the Roger Federer of tennis, or, you know, those players that learn the winning feeling and the inner confidence.
Winning becomes a habit, doesn't it? You know, that flow. Confidence.
Absolutely, and when you know what it takes.
2-3.
And as I say, having lost in the top 4 seed battle 2 against Wang Manyu 3-1, maybe that has spurred her on. Once again, nice close-up of the racket of Chen Xington this time. Immaculate rackets here from all the players. An immaculate play again from Chen Meng.
Yeah, Chen Xington got a fantastic forehand in here. Let's have a look at that. Boom. But Chen Meng read it, blocked it back cross-court.
But the pressure is always on. The receive was wide. Chen Meng's really mixing those receives up. She's really being almost calmly aggressive. It's very calculated. It's not reckless, but it's calculated.
Yeah, it sure is. A fantastic player.
Oh, man.
5-2.
She's seeing it so early.
Yeah, just picking the angles.
It's like Chen Xington doesn't have an answer here at the moment. World number 1 looking completely unstoppable.
3-5.
Other semi-final, of course, Wang Manyu and Song Yingsha. That's equally going to be intriguing.
4-5.
Yeah, Chen Xington, she looks rattled right now, doesn't she? She's trying to find some answers.
That's interesting because there hasn't been so much short in this match so far. It's been a lot of backhand flicking opening, which we've seen a lot, and that's the way of the modern game. That might be a little change of tactic there from Chen Xington. Let's see if that continues, but short. She takes the point with the topspin.
Let 5-all.
So much spin coming off these serves. You can really see it in this angle here. Lots of wrist cutting into the ball. All that serve practice. Yeah, you see the backspin there. Just clip the net.
Great view there. Another camera innovation from WTT. Coming around. Get a real perspective there of the setup. Fantastic. Look at that. We can see where they're standing, their footwork. We can see the speed over the table, Dan.
And Chen Meng comes out on top. That backhand follow-up is so strong. She waits for it. She's waiting for her prey, waiting for that loose ball, and then pounces on it.
And what do you have to do to push Chen Meng back? She just holds her position. Look, backhands and forehands coming from Chen Xington, but it's not enough. It's simply not enough. Not today.
Not today, not.
Oh, the combination, backhand topspin, forehand. Down the line on the pivot. That is sweet as a nut.
5-7.
Again, Chen Meng just picking that forehand in different places. 1 minute it's going cross-court, next minute she's doing a fade out wide to the backhand. And this is why she's world number 1. She has so much variation to her game. She's got so many gears. She knows her opponents inside out. And so far, Chen Xington hasn't won a game
5-7.
in their last 2 appearances now. Nice there from Chen Xington.
6-7.
This time, managed to win it on the forehand. Chen Meng couldn't quite block it, but Chen Meng still got the lead, 7-6, and it's Chen Xington in red here to serve. Oh, okay, nice from Chen Xington. Fantastic touch play, got the opener, and pulled off the backhand counter this time. Look at this shot. Backhand line, wow. What a combination.
7-all.
Great combinations. 7-all. All or nothing now for Chen Xington.
It really is, she's going for it. Oh, we've got a fault serve from Chen Meng. Wow.
7-8.
Even the very, very
Wow.
best. World
Yes.
number one.
It's so true, it just goes to show, doesn't it? You could be the very best in the world and even the most simplest mistakes take place.
Everybody's human. Ah, it's just so strong. That's been a defining factor for me, Dan. The forehand cross court, and as well the fact that Chen Meng has held her ground so strongly on the backhand, but so many forehand winners cross court.
Completely, yeah, clean winners.
8-all.
Yeah, winning the ball outright. And it's that variation, changing the placement. Right now, Chen Meng, a joy to watch. Both players, but Chen Meng is really taking the game to the next level. Oh, nice from Chen Xington. Okay, that's starting to work now. She's going for more risk on the backhand, a bit more acceleration to the previous games. And it's pulling off. If she can string a few more of these together, take a game, put a bit more pressure on Chen Meng, we may see a comeback. We may see the biggest comeback of the world table tennis event so far. Fantastic serve.
8-10.
And now Chen Xington has a game point. What a turnaround, Johnny, in this fourth game.
The comeback is on. She's done well there from 7-7, Xington, because Chen Meng has looked absolutely solid. Now how will she react at game points down? She saves one. No error on the serve that time. That was chiseled with backspin. What will she do now? Another backspin? Always find that you wondered at that moment, do I do another backspin because that's what the mistake has just been made, or do I mix it then? Looks like topspin on the forehand side. Placement was different. Oh, she's clipped the edge. That looked like it was a missed block there from Chen Meng. So we have a game decider, and it's therefore game point for Chen Xington, but match point for that player there in blue, Chen Meng. 1 point to decide this fourth game. Who will take it? Will Chen Xington's WTT Macau dream stay alive? Or will Chen Meng go through to tomorrow's final?
Wow!
Oh, great attack. She's almost relieved, look.
And that's what it takes. It takes confidence, it takes risk. And if you're going to beat the world number one, you've got to try something different. And look at that forehand. Chen Xington has one game on the score sheet. It's the start of her comeback campaign. It's a massive ask. Chen Meng.
This game, Chen Meng to serve. Love all.
So, Chen Meng to start off this fifth game. Ooh.
Love one.
Unforced error there from Chen, looking a little bit rattled, a little bit concerned. She's still got a fantastic advantage here, 3-1 up in games. But Chen Xington has been taking risks and is going to try and make the big comeback. We did see yesterday, Chen Xington came back against Ding Ning after being 2-0 down. We know that Chen Xington can do it. But can she do it against the world number 1?
One, two.
Good angle there from Chen Meng. I think Chen Xington is playing her backhand and expecting the switch. You can see here after her backhand, she's a little bit tentative, and Chen Meng just pressured it into the corner.
That's always a challenge in table tennis, isn't it, Dan, there, where you know that a player's going to switch you. So sometimes what you do is, on the backhand, you don't actually commit to it, and you play a half or a three-quarter shot because you're almost thinking you have to be on the move. You have to get the taxi already to get into the wide forehand.
Yeah.
When actually you just play the full 100% shot, and then almost the speed of that and the recovery of the arm will rebound, and you should be ready. But of course, depends where you bring the racket back to. Many players now will play the shot and bring their racket back to the middle so that then they can react both sides.
A very good point in there, Johnny, in terms of recovery. Playing the shot, completing the stroke, that will help your weight transfer to recover to the next ball. If you're playing a 50-50 half-hearted shot, you don't have momentum or flow. It's really something to think about, and you can see at this level, they're always committing to 100% in every shot, and right now, we've got a real game on our hands.
Chen Meng's invincibility there that we saw earlier on in this match seems to have just lost her a little bit. 6 points played in this 5th game. Time to take the towel. Bit of music in for the crowd.
Continue playing, please.
Being asked a question here, Chen Meng. But if anybody can respond, it's the world number 1.
4-2.
But fair play to Chen Xington there in red. She's stuck to it, and sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to grind in a match and still believe, because you never know what's going to happen. Chen Xington, you know, she's taken that 4th on a game decider, 11-10. You've got to build on that. Anything can happen. Keep grinding, keep believing. See if you can turn things around, even when Chen Meng was looking invincible.
4-3.
Chen Meng there, taking that backhand so early off the bounce. These players are so close to the table, touching the ball around the net, but they're not dropping off too far on the backhand open up. Staying at the top of the bounce, meeting the ball. Woo, hear the crowd there. Very close to going on. It's 4-4. I really feel like Chen Xington needs a couple of points advantage here, otherwise Chen Meng's going to get a lot of confidence.
Let's 4-all.
Oh.
5-4.
Drama.
Yeah, brilliant play. There was even a net in that rally there, but it didn't affect both players. They kept the pressure. And then right at the end there, the ball kicked up. Chen Meng is putting, both players are putting so much quality on the ball with their wrist. At times, the ball has got so much spin, it's landing on the table and just kicking up. Spin to spin. Spin to win. 5-4, Chen Meng. Oh, into the body. What a placement. Absolutely perfect. You can hear Chen Meng there, absolutely caught out.
And Chen Meng hasn't been really caught out, I don't think, since about game 1, where we saw maybe the legs a little bit heavy just starting in game 1. Chen Xington's really having a go here. She's making Chen Meng look slow again.
Yeah, starting to oppose her game a lot more now. We're seeing more risks. That's an unforced error, really.
And when you're on the comeback, those are the points that you have to convert.
Yeah, that will... She's got to let that get behind her now. It's difficult, but she's got to let it be in the past, now focus on the present. Yeah, good counter there from Chen Xington. A bit too passive on the open there from Chen Meng. She almost just kind of, you know, just tried to place it in. It was an awkward angle.
She's placed it into the forehand, Dan, and therefore Chen Xingtong's been able to step through into it.
Yeah, it was a bit too weak.
One of the great things I love when watching, particularly this week, the way that the rallies have really been building up, and particularly in matches like this, the backhand to backhand. The key factor and one of the key elements of table tennis is, and for us to learn as we're coming through the clubs and our school play and our own national competitions, is go on the journey. You know, when you're in a rally, don't panic. Don't try to play the glory winner too early. It's almost, as I was saying, it's almost like the backhand to backhand is the standard. It's that's where you start. That's the holding pattern. And then you're trying to create something.
Yeah.
So, I know when I played, sometimes I thought, wow, I've got to explode and play the big ball, the big backhand or the big forehand. But these players at the very top, one of the things they do is they stay solid. And they play the backhand to backhand to backhand. And they're building and they're thinking and they're establishing and they're waiting for the right ball to attack.
It's a very, very good point, Johnny, and I couldn't agree anymore. It's that it's very easy to play table tennis and think, oh, I've got to try and win this point. I've got to go for the big forehand now. And then you're right, and these players are building the rally to set themselves up for those winning moments. Look at this here, we're locked in 7 points apiece.
Short again from Xingtong.
Tong.
That's a little tactic. We've seen that a couple of times.
Yeah, she's done well there. Chen Meng got straight into the body, but Chen Tong took her time here. Look at this.
Look at those backhands again from the middle, Dan.
8-7.
Ooh, Chen Tong had a little, kind of a smirk on her face there. She liked that. 8-7.
Short again. And again, Xingtong, that's 3, I think I remember now, on the short. Creating the opening and spreading then that top spin.
Yeah, so relaxed on that backhand there as well. The last final ball, relaxed, smooth, and got the ball into the opposite corner to where Chen Meng was standing. Here we go.
2-point advantage. That was a good sequence of 2 on the service from Xingtong. Dictated that touch play around the net.
9.
Chen Meng, very heavy backspin there. Cutting right in underneath the ball. Trying to disguise it. Xingtong perhaps thinking it was more of a float, a no-spin serve. Oh, she's given it the Joe!
10-8.
Wow, yeah, that's
your
a
t-shirt
statement
today, Dan.
It does. That's a statement. 10-8. The lightning sound effects have come on, and that only means one thing: game point.
The comeback is on.
We called it quite early on, 3-0 down. Has Chen Xingtong got it? Could she come back? Well, we can't write Chen Meng on just yet in this game, but she's played outstanding. I'm only saying that because yesterday she was 2-0 down against Ding Ning, made the comeback to win. Here we go, it's Chen Xingtong to serve.
That's a good receive from Chen Meng. I mean, that's
10-9.
class, right? You're under pressure. You're the world #1. You're 2 game points down, but you still go for the 100% committed push. That was an aggressive push.
Very clever variation.
Will she change it up here for the game point, second game point in this 5th? She's going short to the forehand. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Loopty-loop. That was a little bit strange there. Let's see that again, how that ended up there.
Chen Meng really was pressuring Chen Xingtong there. But Chen Xingtong was scooping the ball in with spin.
That hits the net there and kind of comes back, and maybe it hit quite deep in the table there, Dan. Maybe right on that orange ball to orange line in the WTT table ball setup.
And look at that scoreline there. Chen Xingtong making her comeback. Chen Meng, the world #1, was in a 3-game lead around 10 minutes ago, and now it's 3-2. And Chen Xingtong has been taking more risks. She's been imposing her game, and Chen Meng has got to work out what to do here. And here's the semi-final match format. It's a best of 7. And at game 7, it's a 2-point advantage, but until game 7, it is 1 point at 10-10 for the game decider. And
will we see that, you think? Will we go to a 7th? Will we go all the way in this first semi-final of the day?
It would be spectacular. Don't know why, I have a feeling here Chen Meng may change something up here. But it's quite hard to call. We did say at the start, these players
Continue
are
playing.
so similar in style and both in form. Really hard to call.
We will rock you
16.
playing out, I think,
16
there.
conquers.
WTT certainly rocking table tennis in this inaugural WTT event in Macau. The WTT Macau 2020 presented by Galaxy Entertainment Group. Be really interesting on the Xington tactics now. I feel she's going to go short a lot more too. Look, short to the forehand, gets the long return. So if she gets the long return, she can attack and she can be ready for that. But if she gets the short return, short, she's been very strong. And if she can move Chen Meng, because Chen Meng on a couple of games has been a little bit slower than we are used to seeing her. Of course, a couple of games she was lightning fast, but now she's looking a little bit ragged here. Her game not just so smooth as we saw in games 2, 3, and 4.
That's a few times there. Chen Xington has won the point, going wide out into Chen Meng's forehand. Very, very good angle. Chen Xington gets in there.
Oh, the acceleration on that last one.
Number 3.
Okay, Chen Xington clipped the net, but it was risky. She went for it. Look, one backhand, and then this one here, bang. Okay, clipped the net, but she took some risk. She's just trying to just take the game to Chen Meng. Oh, what a forehand.
3-1.
That was Wang the chin-like.
You can do, I can do better.
What a pivot. That's a good break up there for Chen Meng. Chucked in the long serve. Pivoted straight away.
3-1.
So far, absolute thrilling stuff. Backhand to backhand, switch in, wide forehand. Look at this. How's Chen Xington getting there and Chen Meng come out on top with the final forehand with heavy spin. Loaded.
Continue, please.
What a game this is turning into, Johnny, eh? 1 minute, it looked like Chen Meng was going to win 4-0. Unbelievable. Chen Meng had a match point already at 3-0 too. But now it's Chen Xington. Chen Xington in a 4-2 lead. What a fighter. Yesterday 2-0 down, came back and won against Ding Ning. Can she do the same against Chen Meng, the world #1?
Why not?
Why not?
The resilience is incredible. I mean, she stayed calm. You could see
So
that
calm.
she wasn't in the zone, you know?
Yeah.
And Chen Meng was really getting a grip on things, but she kept working, she kept going, she dug deep. She's created the opportunity now, she's created the pressure. She changed the tactics, that short touch, and moving Chen Meng around a little bit more. This is a real test now for the world #1.
It really is, Johnny.
Good comments online from the fans. Some saying there, Xington's doing it. She certainly is. She's coming back.
Yeah, loving all your comments, guys. Keep them coming in. What a great game this is. So Chen Meng went for that pivot she did earlier on. But this time, Xington got a bat more behind the ball, cut the ball in half with backspin. And she's in a 5-3 lead.
And now all of a sudden, with the Joe and the fist pump, Xington there, she's got her sail up. A little bit of wind behind her now. She's starting to pick up some nautical speed. Whoa, whoa, timing of that.
It happens.
Touch. Again on the touch. It's Xington who comes out on top. That has to be her key tactic in this one.
Yeah, phenomenal. Over the table, explosive power. She set that forehand up from the very clever long push. Touch, aggressive dig long, caught Chen Meng out. The ball popped up long, and Xington all over it. Intense, electrifying stuff. Wow, if this goes to a 7th. What the hell? Xington!
This is class. Look how early. Look at that. Down the line, creates the opening and punches that out there. Look how fast and look how pumped she is.
Put Chen Meng on a star jump. Look at this. Now Chen Meng's making the unforced errors. She's starting to look rattled, and I don't blame her. She had a free game advantage in this match. And now Xington is coming back. And again there, Chen Meng just, a bit rushed, loose. Bit of frustration there.
Another new camera angle. Look at the speed of that ball going across. It's making me dizzy.
And there's the lightning sound effect, and that only means one thing. It's game points. Xington to take this match to the decider.
Don't count out the word number 1 just yet.
Absolutely not.
Is this going to 3-3? It looks like it at the moment. Short. This has been Xington all along. She's going to win this one again. It's the short tactic. It's the winner from Xington. It's the 6th game in the bag. It's 3-3.
What a way to start this opening semi-final Super Saturday day here at World Table Tennis Macau. We're going to the 7th. It's going to the wire. Let us know in the comments, guys, on YouTube, who you think is going to win this 7th. It's massive. Look at that. 11-10, 11-9, 11-5 from Xington in the last 3 games to take this to the 7th.
Atmosphere really building now for those lucky few in the arena. In the Tapsec Multi-Sport Pavilion in the beautiful Macau. What a place, what a city. All the arts, culture, food, architecture. A tremendous destination for this inaugural WTT World Table Tennis event in what is ITTF with WTT, the new era of the sport. And the level of play from the elite global superstars these last days has certainly not disappointed. They have gone right along with the new branding, new feel, new era push, and given us incredible entertainment. It's been drama, it's been passion, it's been tense, Dan, first semi-final of the day. We've got 4 of these matches to go. Might have to take some deep breaths to make it through the day. We're into the 7th decider, ladies and gentlemen. If it goes to 10-10, it'll be 2 points difference. Wow, who's it going to be? Which Chen will go through? Will it be the server, Chen Meng, world number 1? Or will it be Chen Xington, who's on the comeback trail here, getting it back to 3-3?
Sometimes, Johnny, when you take a 3-0 lead and then you make the comeback, sometimes you can get a little bit almost relaxed. You know, you're back level. Wow, I've done it. I've got back to the 7th. Chen Xington's going to have to keep applying that pressure. And Chen Meng's now going, wow, I've got to do something here. But we're 1-1, 1 point each. It's locked in.
And sometimes the mind almost has the control of the situation. So if you remain positive, committed, your body will follow. If you start to wobble a little bit or doubt, your body can sometimes crumble. You know, you can almost feel your knees wobble. I'm not sure that would be Chen Meng's problem, though. World number 1, been there, done it. But she's under pressure. Chen Xington, the victor against the Queen of Hearts, Ding Ning, in the quarterfinal yesterday in a 3-2 battle, winning 14-12 in the 5th. Well, she knows how to go all the way here in Macau.
She's had that experience already. She's already had a really tight game with Ding Ning. Will that help her in this 7th and final game? Wow, wow, wow.
But now it's Chen Xington who looks completely composed.
Yeah.
You know, earlier maybe she was snatching a little bit. Watch the technique. Watch the difference between Chen Meng here at the bottom. She's a little bit lost, a little bit under pressure, a little bit flustered. It's Xington now who's just flowing.
Yeah, now it looks like Chen Meng's a split second too late for the ball. It looks like Chen Xington is now getting to those balls a touch quicker. And that's because she's a bit more confident, a bit more relaxed. She's taking more initiative in her shots. And the world number 1 right here in blue is under heaps of pressure.
Timeout. I wonder what the coaches would say now if they were there. They're obviously not, because 2 players from the same country, coaches letting them get on with it. But what would they be saying, Dan, if the coaches were there now?
I would, for Chen Meng,
I mean, how do you say to the world number 1, you've got to believe?
yeah, that's it.
She almost looks as if she's lost a little something. She looks a little bit empty and under pressure. For Xington, for me, go short, short. Go short, short, stay solid, look for the winner. Very simple for me.
Yeah, for sure, and she's getting those loose balls. For Chen Meng, I think in the first 3 games, her backhand had more power in it and it had more inertia. And I think Chen Meng needs to try and do that. It's difficult in the 7th because her confidence now has been hit a little bit, but the backhand needs to be of a bit more quality and also changing. Often in the first 3 games, Chen Meng was finding the wide forehand. She was switching quicker.
Yeah, she had winners. She was making
she was
winners.
getting winners, yeah, but now Chen Xington has changed it up. She's mixing up the play. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Jayo. Oh, nice ball. See, I think that's really cool, right? You're under pressure. You've lost your lead. But the ball you play there is a percentage solid ball. You don't flash at it in a panic way, but you play it with control.
Yeah, straight into the body, and it was a good serve. Long, fast serve, caught Chen Xington out.
Let 2-3.
And there's Chen Xington with the Cho raw celebration. And actually, if I was coaching Chen Meng's corner, I would probably say, Chen, I want to hear you a bit more now. Show Chen Xington that you're in this. The next point you win, I want a massive scream, big celebration. Show you're in this match.
Well, it can also release tension as well in the body, can't it? So by getting a little bit more emotional and a reaction, you can flush out any sort of tension that might be impacting on your performance. You don't have to do it in an aggressive way towards your opponent, but just show the body language and release the body, get you back onto that winning feeling.
It'll make her feel confident, exactly, and it will just put the, you know, Chen Xington's doing it right now. It will give you that confidence. That's a very good push there.
plenty of learnings for us all in this match. You know how to deal with pressure as the world #1 when somebody's coming back at you. And on the other side, how to never give up. You're 3-0 down against the world #1 or a higher ranked player in your school, in your club, in your national ranking list, whatever that might be. Never give up. Stay focused, stay on task. But don't be afraid to mix it if something's not working. And that short technique and then taking it in the rallies and going for it, stepping it up a little bit. Certainly seen Xington there in left, in the red, come right into the 4 here. She's looking quite strong, I have to say, in this decider. Changed ends at 5. Oh, she's dictating now. Look at the acceleration on that backhand.
Chen Meng there putting a few loose balls, keeping it in play. She's under pressure, but then Chen Xington fired it up with this massive backhand. That's amazing. Didn't change much of the technique, just more acceleration, more body, and a bit more follow through on that backhand.
Oh, the #1 in the world is truly under pressure here. This would be an incredible comeback.
And we're hearing Chen Xington roar as well. You know, she's really putting all the pressure on Chen Meng right now.
Indeed. I mean, you're playing Chen Meng, who's been in fine form all November. Women's World Cup, ITTF Finals, was 3-0 up here.
7-4.
Don't count her out yet.
We've had so many fantastic matches in this world table tennis. It's hard to choose which is match of the tournament. But this one is going to be right up there. If Chen Xington takes it, or either players. 7-4.
And maybe Chen Meng was hoping that it was the best of 5.
Yeah.
She'd have been home now having a cup of tea.
But Chen Meng finding that wide forehand, which we saw in the first 3 games that Chen Meng won, exploiting the wide forehand.
Continue, please. Continue, please. 5-7.
Big sequence now from Chen Meng. Will she mix it up? Short. Xington there has been strong. Will she go for a kicker? Will she try something different? Something fast into the middle, maybe? Gone short into the forehand.
5-7.
Looked a little bit bouncy. That could create nerves for Chen Meng. It could give confidence to Xington. Let's see if she comes in and attacks it here in red. Oh my goodness.
5-8.
What an angle.
Superb, calm, collected. Sees the chance, takes it.
Really impressive. I felt like Chen Meng was on top of that rally.
I think she also kind of has to admit that that was quite nice, that one.
Yeah, it was very, very impressive.
Little bit of luck though on that one.
9-5.
Oh my goodness, this is incredible. 4 on the trot, 0-3 down in games against the world #1. Looked a little bit lost in terms of tactic. Incredible. Xington here, 9-5. She's 2 points away. But Chen Meng's not giving it easy. Little smile. Surely we're not going all the way to 10-10 here, are we?
Hands on her hip. Is she in?
I think, well, 7th game.
Notchland.
Tired a little bit.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. Might have a back injury. Could be completely wrong there. She's like stopped. Oh.
Yeah, just couldn't accelerate through on that backhand. Wow. Chen Xington now has match point semi-final WTT Macau for a place in tomorrow's final, where she will have to be ready to go even further on a best of 9. But in this best of 7, wow, she's made use of the full 7-game format here. Oh, she's almost conceded. Oh, Xington, is that going to come back and bite?
I don't know, but what's going on here, Johnny?
Well, you see this whenever a player's away ahead, and it's almost like a conceding of the match. Surely Chen Meng hasn't conceded to her compatriot.
It's 10-7, she's in it. Chen Meng here to serve the world number 1. 3 match points at Xington.
Oh, she's going again. She's played the fast topspin serve. She's back lobbing. And it's gone down the line. It's the clear winner. It's hit the back LED. Chen Xington has just completed a 4 straight game comeback.
She sure has. Absolutely incredible performance from Chen Xington. Made the comeback in the quarterfinals against Ding Ling after being 2 games down. And here in the semi-finals has made the comeback against Chen Meng, the world number 1, after being 3 games down. The comeback kid. Wow. Chen Meng there just gave up there in the end.
Interesting finish indeed, but the world number 1, 2 tournament wins in November. Maybe, you know, it's been a hard November.
Yeah.
It's not easy to play at the very top of your game all the time. And if she is holding her hip, if there is something, well, you know, it's been a challenging November. I mean, it's been amazing for table tennis to be back internationally, and Chen Meng has taken full advantage over the weeks. She's won the 2 events in November. This was the 3rd for her. Semi-final, still a fantastic run. And let's hear what the winner there, Chen Xington, thinks of that semi-final.
I think